Oi, oi. Happy Tuesday, the 24th of November 2020. This is episode 15 of this live trading that I've been doing. So, trading UK markets here. You can, if you're not on the Twitch, if you're on Twitch, it's just Mr. Exchange Trader, and also uploaded afterwards to YouTube. So, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. But here we are with another day of trading. Just going to jump straight into this because I can see some opportunities. There's other stuff I want to just speak about as well, but plenty of time to do that. So we've got a favourite here, 7 minutes to the off, 153 grand match, nice liquidity, nice tight book as well. Favourite's been steaming in, looks like it's been found in support. Second favourite's been doing the complete opposite of that, drifting out, and looks like it's finding resistance at these previous highs. So potentially looking to short this and go long on this. 7 minutes off, so some nice time, decent amount of money coming in. Don't need that. So just trying to acclimatise myself to the market first of all before jumping into anything too quickly. Just get a heartbeat for what's going on. Sorry, Twitch. Just, I can't believe I'm still getting used to bloody Twitch after all these things. So, alright, let's have a look. So, just make sure my mic's working as well. Yes, it is. Fantastic. No more mistakes. Did have a losing day yesterday. At least what was recorded. I did manage off screen to bring that back to break even, but obviously that doesn't count because it wasn't recorded. But I'll talk about that a bit later. Just want to focus on this here. So I do feel this is still going to come in. Well, it has a good likelihood of coming in, but I'm just really hesitant because of this support. It's been finding at its lows here, which seem about 2.1 to 2.08. It does look like it's potentially reversing off of that. So I don't want to just sell into that too eagerly. Time is ticking down as well, so 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes to the off. So if I'm going to make a move on this, it would need to be relatively soon. What we got? Hmm. 5 minutes to the off, still haven't made a decision on this. Again, not eager to lose money, so just gonna observe for now. And again, just for now at least, keeping the stakes nice and low. At twos. Looks like this could in fact be a reversal. This moves up and this comes in. So going to put something outside the money here to potentially short this. Keep it nice and light for now. So I'm going to need this to continue basically to break. It's a bit of a risky trade because this is moving into resistance. So it could then just fall back down. But this has, this has persisted to at least make some bearish move, at least in the short term. So we've got a £4 stake. I could be wrong on this. This is moving away on me. So 3 minutes to the off. It's gone into that resistance again, so I'm anticipating at least it could come back to meet support at these lows. But if it breaks much higher than that, I could be in trouble. With time ticking on as well, I just need to play a bit more, play on the defense. So rather than anticipating a big break now, I'm anticipating more that a price could come back to support. And at least I'll get out for a few ticks. But this is moving in, isn't helping this position. Just holding tight for now. Hold tight. Seeing some money coming in, which is going to help this move down. Reasonable position Q in this. So I have got filled on one of those orders. Got some wiggle room in terms of stop loss. 2.5 minutes till the off. I'm on the touch now. Oh, it's just moved off it. Just going to move this up. Again, just play a bit of a defensive game rather than just trying to squeeze an extra tick out of it. Just, even if I get that, just got to play it cautiously. I'm right at the front of the queue on this. Just £10 needs to be matched. But, there we go. Look, it's just moved away on me. 2 minutes to go. Could have been a bit greedy on that one. Especially with this approaching twos. Break of that twos would be quite a significant move lower. But I'm hoping it just finds support off of twos given the time and the movement that it's done so far. So find off support off these twos and then hopefully see a bit of a retrace in this. But yeah, I'm not that's what I anticipate, but I'm not gonna be wrong and strong on that. It's broken twos. So what we got, a minute and a bit. Kept this nice and light in terms of position size. First trade of the day. Yeah, time to. So first trade of the day, bit of a loss. Managed quite well. I'm happy with that. It's fine. Move on. But as I was saying earlier, see how long we've got on this actually. 10 minutes to the off. Just do a quick analysis on this. Favorite here, drifted in, finding support. Second favorite, coming a lot, found support, consolidated a lot. Could be hitting resistance now. The other one's not so worried about. So just gonna keep an eye on this one. Crossover point here is of interest. But yeah, yesterday was a losing day from what I recorded. If you're familiar with the format of what I've been doing with these videos, this is what, the 15th day of recording. Typically it's just 2 hours that I do. Yesterday was the first day that I've done a full day, just to just looking at this. Yeah. So I'm looking to short this, but yesterday was the first day that I continued to trade after that, typical 2 to 3 hours, and was able to break even on the day. Obviously that wasn't recorded, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll chalk that up as a loss for the purpose of these videos. But the loss was about, I think it was about 170, 179, as in £1.79. Again, just working with small stakes at the moment. But yeah, my focus was slightly off yesterday, at least for the first half, and you can see that in some of the decisions that I made. And it can be tricky to bloody talk about this stuff and do it at the same time, but it's all part of my accountability. But I did continue to trade, took a break for about an hour or two, and proceeded to trade into the evening, which is just another interesting insight, because it shows that, in the 3 hours that were there, because I was willing to take a loss on the day, but my objective was to ideally bring the reduce some of that loss, bring it back to break even. It wasn't chasing the money, it wasn't doubling up, there was nothing that I was doing in terms of money management that was different. But yeah, that's just important to remember. Just keep your money management in check. It's helpful to understand now that, yeah, if I do want to make more money out the market in the day, that it's possible to do. But for now, I'm just trying to keep it consistent in terms of trading every day for at least a couple of hours. Just get those practice hours in and then scale up. Yeah, but stop jibber jabbering now. Let's just see what's going on here. This is broken fours, which is, sorry, broken fives, which is I've put these speculative positions in here should the market retrace, which is what you'd expect in a downtrend. It would, you know, or an uptrend. It would make an impulsive move and then pull back for a period of time. So I'm trying to get filled at these types of levels because that would give me a position that's good value for money. So I do have these positions in here. This one here is finding support around 4.7, which aids the story that this could move lower, because as this finds supports and potentially moves higher, it means this has a likelihood of moving in. These other ones are drifting and this one's coming in, but they're not as impactful on the book as these top two. This is where most of the money is, on these two here. So 7 minutes to the off. Still favouring a short on this, but just keep an eye on this, because if this breaks fives, we could see it break this resistance as well. So potentially I could be long on this. What I'd be looking for is a decisive move on that, because I've kind of missed that, if you like, in terms of it, you know, moving lower. But there could be scope in this if I see it break and then this move lower as well, to jump on this to go long. 5-6 minutes to the off. So I do like to, so far basically I've been live streaming on Twitch and then uploading to YouTube afterwards. From Twitch, link for YouTube is in the profile, and if you are on YouTube, my Twitch is just Mr. Exchange Trader. Just waiting on this. 5.5 minutes. Resistance is holding here. Of course, as the clock ticks down, there is more risk involved because there's less time to maneuver. Now, one thing you might be looking at is, okay, there's resistance there, could just short that because the price is going to likely fall away. But that goes counter to what I'm expecting on this, because I want this to move down and this to move up. That's the way the book works. So yeah, viably I could short that, but it's just less confirming factors that would make that a successful trade. So I'm just looking for as many things as possible to make the trade viable. I'm looking for a certain story I want it to tell me. This is breaking lower, approaching fours now, these psych levels, crossover points. This one's drifted to fuckery. Look at that, bloody hell. Can't look at everything, unfortunately. With time ticking down now, I may need to just pass on this market, which is okay. It's fine. Just cancel those orders and move on to the next one. Got 9 minutes off. Just need to do a quick work email. Bear me 1 sec. Just going to go on mute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had to deal with something there. So, let's see what's going on with this. Oh, 3.5 minutes. Yeah, might need to pass on this. I don't want to jump into something without getting a feel for it first of all. But that's the way. That's that's a good. If you are doing other stuff, just make sure not to be distracted by stuff in the midst of trading. Make sure you've got an environment conducive to trading. Conducive to trading. Nice quiet room, decent setup. Just try not to be distracted. If you are distracted, stop trading. So we've got here, not 10 minutes off. Nice. So we've got a drifter, slight gentle drift hitting resistance at 4s. This crossover point just over 4.1. Second favorite, very choppy. It's around these 4s as well. Just going to switch over. So these are basically the same price at 4s. So what do I read into on this? So we've got, it's a very small range that's moved between. So 4.5 to 4s on this. Brunt of the money matched at 4.2 and 4.3. Resistance on this is around 4s, but there's been a slight upward move. I mean, what I'm thinking at the moment is potentially shorting this, but it's only going to be for a few ticks really, potential, because this looks like it's at support in terms of where the price has been found, and this looks like it's at resistance. So what I read into that is this has the potential to move down and this has the potential to move up, but just have to be careful with these really small moves as well. Also, I didn't really factor in the bias on this move has been up, so this could see a break of previous resistance as well. So that might not be the smartest move to try and short that resistance, because it might just break through it. It might be smarter to wait for it to pull back, if it does, to 4s, and try and trade the bounce off support, and then obviously seeing this hit resistance. But yeah, just need to wait and see a bit. 7 minutes, 8 minutes to the off. Just have a quick peek around. These favourites, because they're so closely priced, they keep flip-flopping between first and second favourite, but nothing else has really caught my eye outside the first and second favourite. Just see how many. Okay. A lot of consolidation in recent times. What can I see? What can I see? What is the market doing? That's generally a good question to keep asking yourself. What can you see? Or what's changed as well? Especially if you've come to the market 10 minutes before the off. The dynamics of the actual market can change over that period of time. So what might have looked, if it came in maybe 20 minutes before, might have seen that and think, right, that's drifting, but then stay for another 10 minutes and then you've got this consolidation where it hasn't really moved much further. So you just need to be ready to act, or change your mind, or not change your mind in terms of placing trades sillily all over the place, just chasing the money, but just be prepared to have a different bias, if you want, just based on what the market's telling you, rather than you trying to tell the market what to do, what you expect of it. Just let the market dictate, you know, how you trade, how you move. Just does look like it's creeping higher. That's a gentle drift. It's moving out. Just going to put something outside the money on this. In fact, put a... And what I've done here as well, I'm looking at two different selections at the same time. So if both of these get fills, it could be pretty confusing. But you know, if you're new to this, start with small stakes like I'm doing and experiment, or just focus on one thing at a time. If you're confused by what... Oh, I'm on a touch on both of these. Okay, let's cancel that one. You know, if you're confused by things like bid and not, like back and lay, and whether you back first or lay first and all that kind of stuff, then really taking on multiple selections at the same time is a bad idea, because you're just going to get confused. And even yesterday, I had a lapse in concentration where I don't know what it was, some fucking... I don't know. I basically put the wrong order. I put the directional trade in. I was just, I was slipping a lot yesterday. But yeah, just keep things as clear as possible so you don't confuse yourself. So the simpler the process, the better. But, you know, at the same time, it's worth experimenting with stuff, and just at low stakes as well. Because you could just... come across new stuff that you hadn't thought before, just new techniques. So here I've got a fill at twos, trying to take a couple of ticks at resistance here. Still got this order in here to potentially fill at 4.1. Got a reasonable position on this, so hopefully this will get filled, but it might not. Just have to wait and see. 3 minutes to the off, so still got some time on my side to at least hold out on this position, and it's got filled. So I'm not as convinced that this could continue high, because we had this previous lows here that it did partially break through. So potentially it could, you know, be a reversal and move lower. This high here that we've seen, and it can be quite nuanced, because obviously these are very small charts to read off, but I'm just taking the experience that I know from technical analysis in different markets, so like Forex and stock. So I'm just interpreting that in this way. But this here could be a lower high, or it hit resistance like with a double top and potentially move lower past fours. So I wasn't holding strong on that idea of holding that position at 4.1, because like I said before, the conditions of the market have changed slightly since I entered. So 2 minutes to the off now. Yeah, I think I might just green on this one, and green and go. GG, green and go, brother. So you can get filled at that. There we go, 8p or 10p, depending on which comes in. And move on to the next one. 12:35. So next one here, 10 minutes to the off. 35 grand matched, not bad, could be better, good enough. Tight book. Favorite threes. just check and see here. This immediately jumped out in the corner of my eye here. This has come steaming in, but the favorite here has been very choppy, very consolidating, just bouncing within a range. Second favourite here has been quite choppy as well, with a bias maybe to drift, having broken these previous highs here, broke through that resistance and has moved higher. And this one here is the star steamer, if you like. Third favourite, but you can see there's a decent chunk of money. In fact, most amount of money has been matched on this, 10 grand partially. I mean, yeah, it's only a few £100 in it, but so this has drifted, or sorry, steamed all the way in from 8s to 4s now. Let's see what story we can build around this. So this hitting resistance. So I'll be partial to box, what I call box trade in this. So basically trade that channel that is kind of fixed within. But I'd prefer to do that at support rather than resistance, simply because this has been coming in, and what I would want is to trade the potential movement up rather than down, because this coming in is going to potentially push this up. So for me to get a good price, I want it to be at these lows rather than these highs. But yeah, that's quite a way off really. Just need to wait and see. So, you know, waiting for this to move back down to these levels. Could potentially short this. In fact, I'm going to put something in at 5s here. It just could be finding support where you've seen these prices, this volume matched here. That could just be, you know, support for a potential reversal. Just wary of that, but I've put some orders in outside the money just in case it pulls back in this downtrend and finds a lower high. I've got a decent position and hopefully find resistance at 5s. Just going to increase that position slightly. 7.5 minutes to the off. These at the top of their ranges as well helps this story, because it shows that they're potentially pushing higher. But yeah, I don't want to read too much into stuff. So I've got second fill there, so I've got a net position of 4. Might be 6 if this gets filled. And basically what I need is for these, this it hasn't held as resistance. I was hoping that 5 would hold as resistance, but it's reversing, so I need to just be, you know, a bit cautious now, because I'm potentially carrying on. So as it's broken higher, the reason why I was holding out for a position at these levels is because even if it breaks higher, it still typically will pull back and find support before going off again, which is why I was, you know, holding out for those prices at 5s rather than jumping on the market at 4.7. So I've got a net position here of 2s. Got a bit of wiggle room now on the stop loss. Just seeing if this persists now to attack those highs, or if it could in fact start reversing again and move lower. So at the corner of my eye, I'm just keeping an eye on these ones, just to see if they're moving ideally up, which would help my position. But hovering over the market here to potentially, market price here, just to potentially, you know, get out at market. So at market will just mean that it executes immediately rather than having to wait in the back of the queue. As long as there's enough money at this level, it will get filled instantly. And if there isn't enough money, it might get partially filled, or I might go into a queue. So it's gone up, consolidated. So I'm not, I still feel there's a good chance it could move lower, but I'm just again reading what the market's done previously. I'm just looking at the lows that it's met 5 minutes ago. I've got to think right, I'm in a green position, and I've got match there. The lows that it's met previously, it just made sense to have a take profit at where volume had been matched previously, because that is support, right? The market's got a memory in some respect. That's all support and resistance is. So me going for a greedy take profit all the way out here at fours, whatever, is possible, but it's less probable. For me to come out of this on top, taking some profit at support, makes sense. It's quite probable that it's going to do that in the course of the way the market moves. Me anticipating a break lower, breaking all these previous lows to make new lows, is possible, but it's just riskier and it's just less assured profit. So there you go, taking some money off the table, 12p or 10p dependent on what one wins, and on to the next one. So that should tick me into profit on the day. What am I doing? Come on. No more momentary lapses of concentration, hopefully. So we've got a freeze here, favorite steamed in. Just have a quick reorder just in case. Second favorite choppy, very sideways. Third favorite drifted, and yeah, obviously not so important. So it's the thing that sticks out to me is this has had a tendency to steam in, a gentle steam. Could look at these previous lows here that's broken and edging lower now towards threes. So 3 here could be a reactionary point. If it moves into this, it could just find support off of that and, you know, reverse or retrace even, or it could break lower. And should it break lower, I anticipate that it will be, you know, quite a rapid move after breaking threes to move lower and then potentially pull back. But yeah, again, it's a lot of conjecture really until anything happens. 60 gram matched as well. It's a decent quality volume, very tight book, good. These are all things that I'm looking for really when I come to a new race. It's a mental checklist. I mean, because I'm vocalizing it, it might be, you know, seem haphazard in terms of the way that I'm pointing stuff out, but there's a mental checklist that my eyes immediately dart to when I come into a new race. Is there enough liquidity? I mean, sometimes you can just see it in the charts. They're probably my biggest reference point, the charts, because technical analysis is what I know really. But yeah, I'll be looking just for anomalies that might say this probably isn't a good race to trade, or oh, this is a good one. So here, this is coming into fives, or going into fives I should say. So it's going into resistance at fives. This is pulling back. Get a sense that chart's lagging again. 10 minutes to the off. That's just broken fives, which is this resistance here. So I mean, the defensive move on this would be waiting for it to break, which it's doing, but then break and then pull back, because again, that kind of methodology is price moves with higher highs like this, higher highs and higher lows. So this breaking would be a new higher high, and then pulling back will be a higher low, it finding support on fives, and then potentially moving on that, you know, impulse move up again. But entering now might just be too aggressive, because it might be a fake break, fake breakout. It might just have edged past it but then pulled back into the range, which is what it seems to be doing. So sometimes it is better to wait for confirmation. It just depends on what the market's doing really. Just have to get a feel. If there was, you know, a very rapid movement in price here, then I might just buy it on the breakout. If it seems that this is rushing in and this is rushing up, there could be enough momentum behind it to warrant buying on the break or selling on the break, depending on which way you're looking to trade. Approaching freeze now. Haven't made a move on this yet. 8 minutes to go. Could come into support at threes, or it could break it. So what am I looking to do? Well, the bias on both of these in most recent moves has been down, although this has been coming into support to fulfill that channel again. But what I'm looking for is divergence in terms of the interaction between the different selections, so they kind of move inversely. As one goes down, the other goes up. At the moment, both of these have a tendency to be moving down towards support, which doesn't help my decision to short. Okay, there's a bit of divergence because this has moved up, this has moved lower, broken that support. What you gonna do? 7 minutes to the off. Right, I'm gonna put a. So I am speculating that this is going to move lower past these lows, just because this is kind of edging towards the top of its range, potentially breaking resistance, and this is broken support. This entry here could be a bit greedy, but I'll just leave it in there. So it got filled on that. In fact, I'm just going to try and take a tick on that, but leave these in. So that one at 4.7 was maybe a bit greedy. I prefer these orders up here. I liked that previous fill, and this fill would have been even better, because again, I'm just thinking of what could go tits up here, what could go wrong. Price could reverse on me and go through fives, but again, that even if it breaks through and starts to make higher highs, higher lows, I've got some safety in fives at the reference point, because it means I can get out near to that as the price pulls back. So having orders nearer to that level is more helpful. But I did, so 4.7 was slightly risky, so I'm just going for a tick on that, which will hopefully, if it gets filled, allow for a bit more wiggle room in terms of the stop loss. Just out the corner of my eye, I see this coming in, which isn't really going to help. So that got filled. So I've got a net position in the market now of 2. So if that breaks that resistance, so resistance being these highs here, and moves higher, that will be great for my position. Or should be great, I should say. Ain't shit guaranteed in this. That might be a bit too greedy. So I'm just looking at how this has started to find support at this previous level, where this amount of money is being matched here. So for that reason, I've just moved my take profit up to that level. I would have got matched if I kept that in, but yeah, can't complain. Happy with the way I've read that. This is now starting to You see, it's broken that resistance. As it broke that resistance, that's when that massive reaction came, right? This started shooting up, and then this has broken support, and this has started shooting down. But I didn't know that was going to happen. So it could have just, teetered around here and then reversed. But it's kind of planning for what could happen. I'm trying to make profits around that. I'm going to cancel this now, and I'm going to green up. I'm going to move on. So dun, 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 dun. Where are we at? What's the time now? So this is it's after 12:55, 1 o'clock. 8 minutes to the off. 25 grand match, not great. Some vig in the book, not great. Favourite at 2s. Drifting second favourite. Just have a quick rule. Shit, wrong one. This one's steamed in and it's consolidated, finding support. Oh, look at these patches in this book. Yeah, I mean patches in the book where you see, that there's like the top three should, at the minimum, the top three should be, all filled with prices. But in other markets that are less liquid, then you'll see, a lot more patchiness. Like greyhounds, for example, will be very, and I'm sure lots of other markets, or the like US racing, horse racing, or other markets other than the UK markets, you'll see them be a lot more patchy, a lot less money matched. So that's an illiquid market. So I haven't really spent any time on those markets. I'm not saying there's not opportunity. It's just I haven't been able to spend any time looking at those. And it does as well help, or it will be, it's imperative that you just focus on one thing to start with. I would recommend UK horse races being my preferred, because there's just money, lots of money there. There to some extent is some predictability. I'm getting better at reading them, so just find a niche and get used to it, and just try and understand the nuances of it. Again, not an expert here. This could all go tits up with one bad trade, but this is what, the 15th day straight that I've been recording, and there's been noticeable progress. But yeah, it's important not to be complacent. So here it does look like it's finding support, so potentially to go long. It's just see when the next race is. 07. So I'm constantly weighing up what to do. Is it worth my time staying in this, looking for opportunities which might not come, or is it better to, the opportunity costs, I could be looking at something else that is more could be more fruitful and have more time on that to position myself. It's breaking resistance. This is lagging, this chart, I feel. There you go. It's just partially broken that previous highs around here, or at least going into it again. Could see this break support and move lower, therefore. Certainly this feels like a drift, but I'm just something off about this, that that pullback there could be a good time to get in on a potential long position. But it's just the money on this feels very weak to take a long position. And although I'll be able to get in out of it with £2 stakes quite easily, I've got to think, right, if I was using bigger stakes, would that still be possible? 3.5. Fuck this. Going to the next one. So 35 grand match with 10 minutes to off. Tight book. Favourite at 2s. Drifted, but overall quite, you know, rangy. Moved within a range and found support. Second favourite. Kind of drifted, but very rangy and present in recent time. So just gonna hang fire, really, see what materializes. Just looking off screen for a sec here. So 1 o'clock punch. Alexa, lights on. So just looking for reference points. This here's also hitting resistance. That's 7s. Crossover. Or just below 7s. 6.8. 8 minutes to go. 37 matched. I'm contemplating shorting this. It's not the obvious one to go for. Could put something outside the money. But I'm just playing off of this resistance I'm seeing in this. This has started to drift. I'm going to leave that in there for now. Just keep that in out the corner of my eye. Oh, it's not 7s, is it? 6.8. That makes it slightly different. You know what? No, I'm going to cancel that. Just recompose myself on this. So, resistance and support. Gone through 3s. Hmm. 6.5 minutes to go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this here in the anticipation that this 3s now is acting as resistance, or just above 3s, as this is at support. So this could start to move up, which could force this to move down. So taking a relatively... Oh, no, don't want to do that. That's just break even, isn't it? Does look like it's punching a bit higher. just going to play defense on this, because it looks like rather than doing what I wanted it to do, was, you know, kind of edge into 3.1 and then move lower, it did proceed to, you know, hit 3.15. So I've got to play this a bit more defense. You can see in the chart it's just ever so slightly starting to drift. Just going to move that up. Five minutes to the off. Yeah, I've made a bit of a hash of this. In fact, if that... Fine, break even, concentrate again now. So I've freed up money, freed up concentration, can just look at other opportunities. This moving up, hitting fours. Oh God, yeah, I wanted to short that. Fuck. All right. So I've completely reversed my outlook on this, in that I'm wait a minute. Just be easy, take a deep breath. Let's see what's going on. Don't want to rush into anything and lose money on this. There was some activity there, but because I was still in that position, I didn't want to you know, have multiple selections open at the same time. Let's see what this does as it hits fours. Could be late to the party on this one. Time's ticking as well. 3 minutes. Is that going to break fours? If that convincingly breaks fours, that's going to hopefully push this down, but I need to get a match on this relatively soon. Alright, just seen it break fours. Okay, so it done what I wanted, but I wasn't as heavy in that as I would have preferred to be. But hey, a profit's a profit. This broke fours. This caused this, because this was a reactionary point 3 as well. These were both kind of psych levels. This moving higher had a likelihood of pushing this lower, and well, you just rewind the tape. You saw what happened really. And of course, could have stayed in that for longer to maximize that profit on the move down. But time was ticking, and yeah, let's move on to the next one. Didn't lose money. That's the important thing. I was out before the offer as well. Oh, this looks interesting. Oh, hang on. It's the same bloody thing. That's why it looks interesting. So, next one. Things that pop out. 34 grand match. 10 minutes to the off. 34. Not great, but okay. Tight book. Favorite threes. Consolidated for a long period of time. Second favorite. Going into resistance at fives. Consolidated for a long period of time. Piss, where's all the money being matched on this? 800, 300, 7 grand match. It means that there must be a shitload of money just matched outside of these odds. Don't know where though. That's unusual. All right. Yeah, okay. Got time on our sides. Let's to evaluate what can do. I'm just wondering where all the money's been matched on this, because they're saying this is like it's about £2 matched at these two odds, but it's definitely been, you know, 16 grand volume matched. So maybe it's just one of the selections has been removed, which has changed the odds, because I definitely can't see 16 grand matched on this. Might be a bug, don't know. But let's see. So we've got 8 minutes to the off. Nothing readable yet. Just consolidation. There we go. Starting to break previous lows by looks of it. Not looking to be the mug that jumps on that just yet. So it's broken through this previous support that we've seen here, or it's at least approaching it to break lower. And you can see that in the price as well. It just traded, well, according to this volume, between about these three prices previously. How do I want to play this? I'm going to put something up here. So what I'm anticipating is it's broken and then it's going to come back and find resistance before potentially moving lower or consolidating again. If I can get in around these prices, if it consolidates, then I could still be in the money because the price will go to support and get out there. But if it breaks lower, then obviously I've got a bigger move in. So I've got all of those filled. Just gonna put one exit there. Just make sure I am making money on that if it works. Can I put something else into this? All right, I'm gonna going behind that one. So got a net position of 6s on this. So I need to see these previous highs hold as resistance and for the price to start coming in. Really, I didn't really consider the other selection here, but this was at support, which doesn't well, in the short term it could help push this at least back to the bottom of its range. It's a bit of a waiting game. 5 minutes to the off. So what I don't want is for it to break and make new highs. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. You see it's come up, hit resistance, those previous highs. This at the bottom of its range, attacking these previous lows of support, doesn't help my position for now at least. But if it does break, then that's going to be bad for me. But if it bounces and does find support and attacks those previous highs again, that will be good. But we'll see what happens. So I need for this ranginess to continue, for it to just hit resistance, come back to support. But this does look like it's breaking, making new lows. So I'm happy to maintain these positions for now. Still got time on my side, still got, you know, the market at least telling me that there's a probability of me getting hit at my exit orders. But just don't want to be too overzealous, too greedy, and too tone deaf to what is being said to me by the market. Of course, at any point, there's always the option to thin out the position. It's another risk management kind of tool that I can use. Just have a quick look at what else might be going on. So it's forming some support at 3 spot 4, this level here, which you can see in the volume as well as the chart. As is this, finding some resistance, whatever that level is, 4.7. So a break higher of that would be good, and a break lower of this would be good. Just quickly glancing off screen. It's been quite stubborn. 2 minutes to the off. There's going to be more money coming quite soon as well. There we go, and it pushes it higher. So it's broken resistance, moving higher, losing position. 1 minute 45 till the off. So I've moved up my at least part of my I should have moved the other one. Fuck. Lost position on that one now, but hey, c'est la vie. So some more erratic movements in the market now, as you know, nearing the off, people square up positions. I am holding on just because there is still a probability of getting matched, but as the man said, 60 seconds to the off, and I do not want to take this in play. So moving everything to break even now, just in case it dips into it. And now what I'm doing is hovering over this so that I can pull it into the market price if needs be. I've got position on this one, so 650 gets taken, then I'm all good. But I say all good, but so left that one for as long as I could. 29p loss. I think that puts me just under break even for the day, or just over, or at. So next one here, 8 minutes to the off. And this as well, this is interesting because one of the reasons I just want to, the target with this, you might have seen has been around, I don't know, like just over £1, I guess, in terms of the 2-3 hours that I record. Because even though yesterday, after making those losses, I was able to make them back using the evening trading, there is diminishing marginal returns. So each additional trade that I take, if I try and go at it, just trade as much as possible, each additional trade can be detrimental in that it affects, it needs more concentration the longer that you trade in a day, and that can have an effect on your P&L, your profit and loss. So I'm just aware of that as well. That's why I'd like to keep it, do a few hours a day and then move on if possible, once hitting that kind of target. But we'll see now. Just looking off screen here. So 115, 107. Okay, so we've got a favorite here, consolidating threes, very range, bouncing off support and then resistance. Second favorite, can't really read what's going on because the chart is coming from 35s, so I can't really determine what the most recent action has been, but c'est la vie. Third favorite here is drifted and hitting resistance. If I were to guess on that, it would be, it's been a slight steam in most recent price action, just looking at what it's done there. But yeah, how do I play this? So 6 minutes to the off. This could be resistance, so I could be potentially shorting that. That would be counter to that, though. If this indeed is being coming in, then makes that more. The logic for shorting that isn't as good. Okay, 6s is a good reference point here. Okay, I'm using 6 here because it has found quite consistent support here at 6s. It's been a steam on this. This could be coming in, this could be coming in, so I've just put this here because I've got a decent reference point at 6, and I mean, you can see the ties this has made has only been 6.4, so just need to be wary of that and attempt to steal a few ticks. So I've put my closing position in there, but I've also put in another position to add to it. So I've got filled on that. I'm in profit on this one. I'm going to put something above it just in case it ticks up, but I'm not as optimistic in terms of the scope for this to break higher because it has started to consolidate. But just adding to that again, I do feel, oh no, see, proven wrong. It's broken lower. That is not good for me. So need to just pay attention to what's going on here. I do still feel it could move up into just gonna lighten this a bit. So I've got a net position of 6, so I'm gonna put another order in here which cancels out the previous one, but still keep these orders in here. So I've lightened the position slightly there. So I put a back and lay in both at 6, but I've Still attempting to get one tick out of it with a net position of 4. It may struggle. Let's see what's going on here. This is coming in. I'm guessing that's going out. How long we got? 3 minutes. See if this can get matched. £71 to go before I'm matched. Now there is opportunity here just to drag this down and get out of break even, but I'm gonna maintain my nerve here and just hold this position at least for now, because I am on the touch. I've got decent enough position. Getting partially filled there, so it's £2.92 that needs to get filled now at the front of the queue. Come on, £2. There we go. So that's just dribbling. Bloody hell. Come on, just take the rest of it. And there you go, right at the front of the queue, and then didn't get matched on the rest, so just pull that down. Oh, actually no, I think that's because I had 2 separate orders in there. So yeah, so part of the first order got matched, and then there was probably someone else in between, and then the second order got filled. So I got out there. Looks at the right time as well, because this is fucking coming in now, breaking support. That hasn't updated by the looks of it. So I'm going to green up on this and do one. Go on to the next one. So 1:30. Next race. 6 minutes to the off. Thin. I immediately saw these and thought this is probably going to be thin without even looking up here. There's just not many contact points on that. So 16 grand match with 6 minutes to the off is not great. In fact, again, it's just that point about using time efficiently rather than trying to make something out of nothing on that. It's going to be, in my opinion, better to just look to the next race. Have a bit more time and hopefully a bit more liquidity. So 70 grand matched with 12 minutes to the off. That's what we like to see. Much better. So first things that pop out for me, really, these two here, steaming in, mirroring each other. Favourite on a ever so slight drift, but come into resistance at previous highs. Third favourite there is definitely drifting as well. Had a quick reorder. So these two being mirroring each other is just something to be aware of. Let me think. So what can I play on this? Just waiting a bit till something pops out at me in terms of tradability. Sorry, I shouldn't really be chewing gum, should I, whilst I'm on the mic? This ain't no ASMR channel. What is it? ASMR? AMRS? AMSR? I don't know. It's got an A, it's got an S, it's got an M, and it's got an R in it. But yeah, this ain't that kind of stream. So let's have a goosey gander at what's going on. Still waiting for the money to come in on this, really. Still quite a sleepy market. $10 C off though, so that's forgivable. So seeing this hit resistance and consolidate these previous highs here, this high, this, so it's around that, it's moved into that. and these two have found support, which gives me at least an inkling that this could move back down to approach these lows, because this resistance has held. But certainly if it were to break that resistance of, what is it, 2.5? Oh, 2.5 is all the way up there. I'm going to say 2.4 because, yeah, 2.4 is where the brunt of the money is being matched. So a move much higher than that could see this break, and move up a few ticks and potentially create a further uptrend, if you like, a further drift. But it is holding, so I'm just considering shorting this in the anticipation it could move back within its range. But just holding fire on doing that just yet. Because although this is holding support, it's top of its range. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to sit on my hands for now. Eight minutes. Sorry, just looked away from the market there and saw this jumping up here. So that's actually going to aid this move down. Late to the party though. Ooh. This is approaching sixes. So this could now, this hitting resistance could see this find support at these previous lows to then move up. But again, this is a case of being right overall on what the move is going to do, but having no skin in the game. So which I'm fine with, absolutely fine, just preserving that capital. So could get in at support on this. Support isn't as clearly defined. Oh shit, that was a shit fill. I've just seen this coming in off of sixes, which is likely to push this up. I've got some skin in the game there. Wasn't the best of fills, to be honest. But hey ho. So trying to increase that position. So I've got one of those filled. So what I'm anticipating here is this will maintain a support. Just just going to put closing order here, at least before these previous highs here, because I'm not too sure it's going to be able to bust through those highs. So I'm taking at least part of the money off before that. Leaving this one in just because I feel this could be support in the price, this level here. It's that now, so I might get filled on that. So got filled on that, so my risk has now been increased. So any dramatic moves much lower is not going to help. Or just spotted that as well. But so some erratic movements here. Got part of my position filled. That's why it's good to just sometimes have some, orders outside of the money in case the market does move rather erratically. Just bring that down there. And what I'm doing as well is just using the previous volume to help decide where to take profits as well, especially when it hasn't discernibly made breakouts. I'm putting the closing orders at support and resistance levels. Now, smarter move or different approach to that is just to have partial exits in, or leave at least part of the money in for a potential break. But because there's been no discernible trends, if you like, on these in recent time, I just feel it makes more sense to take money off on or before support or resistance rather than hoping for the break. But I think I'm going to leave that now. That's 3 and a bit minutes till the off, and 19p greened. It's all good. So just go quick look over the P&L. Started off with hang on, let me just see what's coming. So waiting on 130 to come in. Okay, put this on here. So far today, so started with a 12p loss, 9p profit, 12p profit, 13p profit, 6p profit, minus 29p loss, 8p profit, and still waiting for it to settle, but then it'll be a 19p profit as well. So that puts me on plus 26p for the day. Again, don't look at the numbers. It's only pence here, but it's the amount risked to the return that's important, and the consistency of trading in terms of getting in, getting out. As in terms of before the off, that's my main rule at the moment, is just basically don't let anything go in play. Did have one quite close to the wire today, but I'm always ready to have video up should I have to do that. And you've got the countdown clock here as well to help. So basically taking profits out is one criterion that I need, and then also being disciplined with the money management. You can see I've always kept these £2 stakes, although there's multiple positions in at £2 stakes. It never really goes more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 positions at once. So I'm happy with that progress. And so we've got the favorite here, finding a shit ton of support, very rangy. Second favorite, rangy as well, but just a wider range between 5 and 6, it looks like. And the other ones are just no money really on them, less than £1,000. Well, this looks like it's been steaming in, but no money on it. 9 minutes and 45 seconds to the off, and this is odds on favourite as well, so you can see the brunt of the money on this is where everybody's backing or laying. 43 grand match, so it's, you know, it's a reasonable, it's a tradable, good conditions for trading. Just waiting for the money to come in and more readability in how I might position myself on this. Fives at support looks interesting on this one, or sixes at resistance. Just the way this channel's been forming. Basically, it going into fives, what I'd want to see is this, like it is now, near the top of its range, because they've both been quite, you know, sideways. So this near the top of its range, and this near the bottom, or vice versa. I can put something in there now. This near the top of its range, and this near the bottom is it's all good. So I'll just leave both of these in for now. Actually, still 8 minutes to the off. In fact, I'm just going to take that out just in case it breaks fives, because it does that. What I'm anticipating is this could be a lower high and it moves lower to break those that support, so that's why I've moved out that. It's just really just trying to think what the market could do and position around it. You can see I'm not adverse to just changing a decision, because I can only make decisions on what I see at the time, and as the market, you know, because it's dynamic, shit changes. So this lot of money coming in on this, which could push this higher. So I'm willing to take a short on this, because this looks like it could be breaking its previous support, its previous lows, but I want to get a good price on it. Looking for a bargain. I'm just going to put an order there as well, because that's more likely in terms of the ability for it to get filled, because that's where there's been previous volume. But I've also put 2 orders outside the money there. You can see the money still coming in on this, which is going to help. Okay, got 1 in there. This weight of money is going to help push this down. So I've got 1 in there, looking to get another. But really what I need now is for this to start finding support, move higher to help push this lower. So just put a closing order in there. So my break even now is around 5 point, or is at 5.9. As long as that, assuming that doesn't get, hang on, let me just. So I'm going to put my closing order here at yeah, okay, happy with that. So I've put my closing order at support. You can see in the price here, because I feel that although there's a chance it could break that support and move lower, that's not really what the previous price action's been saying. It's been hitting support and bouncing. So by taking profit out on support or before it, who cares? It could break or it could bounce. I've made money. I do get an no, it could just be ranging again. But 4 minutes tee off. A decent amount of green. Just got to be careful not to jeopardize that. Approaching fives. So it has edged lower. It has broken that support and it's pierced through it, especially if it breaks fives and that continues with that bullishness upwards. As it goes past fives, or if it goes past fives, it's typically going to be quite a rapid move lower. So let's see if this comes down to 4.9. So I'm anticipating some sort of reaction here. Might take a little while, or it might not happen at all, but is it going to edge lower? No, it found support, it bounced. I think waiting a bit longer, this could move low, especially the way this is moving up here. This could move in, but again, I'm not, that's what I'm thinking. It's not, I haven't positioned myself, you know, I haven't betted on that. I'm betting that it could move lower there, but I haven't taken a position based on that because the conditions aren't right in terms of where I can put my you know, my risk. So yeah, that's the difference between just trading on a feeling and just waiting for confirmation from the market. But yeah, just cutting into potential trading time here now. So I'm gonna, oh shit, have I greened up? No, I haven't. Come on, man, pay attention. There we go. So 27p profit regardless of outcome. And the next one. So we've got 155. 11 minutes to off. Oh, this looks... I thought this was a bit thin just at first glance, but no, there's decent volume there. 43 grand. Tight book. Fours. Both approaching fives. So wary of that. These previous highs here are acting resistance, which is the fives as it goes into that. Will it break it and move higher, or will it bounce off of it? Don't know. This one here is it looks like it's moving into fives. So whereas the fives is resistance here and it's moved into it, this is from below up. This has come from above down. No, actually. No, they're both moving into it. So it's finding resistance off of it. Could be partially breaking it now. This one here is just... oh, these fucking charts. Just slow on the refresh, but this has come in and it's starting to drift now. So let's see what kind of a story can build around this. Just have a reorder. What are you telling me? I'm favouring this to come in and this to break higher. Just looking for a little more evidence of that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just put in these two orders here. So I'm looking for movement up. I'm looking for movement up on this one. So this is a bit speculative. I'm needing this 5 now to hold as resistance to be proved right on this, and for this to act as support here. No, I'm wrong on this. So I just haven't got a good feeling on this. So just gonna get out and reassess, because this is, you can see it broke here, started to make higher highs. But because of where I've positioned, there was a good probability I could get out unscathed. But just going to reassess this for a sec. So I'm looking at this. This could be finding support off of this level. And this is also going into resistance. Let's just come in. It's not showing me what I need to see really. Alright. Here's what I'm looking to do. I'm anticipating this will now be support as this has moved into resistance. This will move down, hopefully pushing this one up. So I've taken, I'm willing to take, you know, a medium type position on that. Put a partial exit near just above 5s. So we need this to start attacking 5s again. So find support here, and this to attack 5s, and this to ideally start to come in, get bearish, and this to get bullish. Well, we'll see how that plays out. 6 minutes to the off. This has been a reasonably, you can see here the previous prices. Hang on, is that? Oh, you have to squint your eyes to look at this. This has been, you know, previous resistance where it's had trouble moving higher than, and this is now turned into support, but it looks like it's broken that. So I could play it safe and just maybe reduce the position or scratch the trade completely. There is, or take a loss, there is opportunity to do that. But given it seems to have been a strong area of resistance and support previously, I'm willing to hold out just for a little bit longer. This is drifting, which isn't going to help this position. Just going to thin that because I'm starting to see, I mean, it's still good enough that it's finding support here, but, and it could, you know, go up to attack these highs, but viably that could just be a lower high, which is a characteristic of a downtrend. So I have thinned the position. Now, is there anything coming in? It did move into my price I want, 5.1. So it did meet it, but it didn't get matched because of my position in the queue, which is why demo trading can be a bit of a fuckery really if you try just demo trading, because you haven't got real market conditions. You haven't got any skin in the game. What might have been a profit apparently on, you know, a demo trade or practice trading, whatever you want to call it, paper trading, may not have been a reality in true market. So demo trading, practice trading can be deceiving in terms of its profitability. So it's always worth having some skin in the game just to get a feel. And when I say that, just do it at the least amount. Just going to drag this down. Hang on, let me just see what's going on here. Going to drag this down. So because time's ticking on, it's seemingly consolidating. I'm just looking, thinking, right, I've got less time to fix this, so I've reduced my profit target now, to hopefully get out of this level and then green up. Okay, so greened on that. And on to the next one. £22,000, not amazing. 7 minutes to the off. Punch. I think that's an Irish one, isn't it? Punch, the full name. Is that a place? It is indeed. Hang on. Oh, Punchestown. Probably pronouncing that incorrectly. But yeah, typically the Irish races, they have a lower liquidity. Yeah, it is Ireland. So 6 minutes and a bit to the off. Can see what my options are on other markets. £30,000 with 13 minutes to go. Yeah, okay, this looks a bit more interesting. So 30 grand match, 35 grand with 13 minutes to the off. Tight book. Favorite steamed in, very gentle steam. Second favorite consolidated, hitting fives. Shit, yeah, missed that. Just take that out for now. So it's finding support at fives. There's 3 in this chart. Do want to get on the short on this, but I think what I'd want to be to make me more convinced to short this, actually can just put something way out the money there, is to see this at resistance. But at the moment they both are this is at, or at least on the chart, is at the bottom of its range and hitting support, and this is also hitting support. But the downward move in this has been, it's clear that this has been it's gently steaming in, but this has been rangy. So to help give context to the decision to short this, what I'd want to see is this nearer the top of its range. So I guess around what is that, 5.4. Needs to move a few ticks higher. Okay, so and this has started to get more choppy, and it's more consolidatory. Don't know if that's a word. Consolidated more in recent times since we started looking at this. You can see, although the context of that when it started was down, it's now started to find support over a prolonged period of time. I still am favouring to short this, but I just want the timing to be as good as possible. The money's still a little bit thin, to be honest. Only double digits, predominantly on the book. Oh, this side's a bit more weighty, but yeah, I have to wait and see. So it's clearly moving down, but there's just no weight behind it. I mean, the weight of the money, if you look at the book in terms of percentages, is probably more on this side, but this is still momentum behind this, but there's no oomph to it. There's no force. So this is coming up, hitting resistance. This is hitting support. Cancel that. So potentially this is going to pull back. Certainly, I'm potentially favouring a short of this. Going to put something in there. Just missed it. So what I'm saying is that this is going to hopefully find resistance, and this is going to persist lower. So just got match set, and it has peaked through previous highs, but yeah, it's just a balance really of being getting the position size right and not being too aggressive, but at the same time not too fearful. That one's worked out. 21p, 7 minutes to go. So that has kind of worked out. This is so I was playing off of that coming into resistance and potentially falling away. I wasn't too greedy on the take profit, so I wasn't expecting it to, go back to its lows. Although I could have, left a partial entry in there, but the way that it was structured is now, even if this does punch higher, that could be a higher low if it breaks through these previous highs, if it breaks through 6s. 6 minutes. Now I'm just consciously thinking again about that concept of like diminishing marginal returns in before I was talking about in the context of the day, but this is in terms of a race, because I've made more than I would, decent average is around 20p from my previous results. I've got 6 minutes to the off now. Do I look to increase that profit and be a bit more greedy, but with more risk because there's less time to maneuver? or do I just, knowing that is around about my average, at least for now, green that up and move on to the next race? I mean, there's no clear-cut answer. I mean, it depends. At the moment, the market has been quite consolidated for quite a bit, and there's no clear, at least for me, there's no clear signs that anything could break out to make substantial returns, like run and steam off or drift off to make substantially more profit. Trying to do these type of box trades where it's just trading off support and then resistance, the profit potential is more capped. So with that rationale, I'm happy just to green this one and just look at the next one with a bit more time to it and see what I can do in that. But yeah, each their own. There might be other people who trade that differently. Certainly those last 5 minutes, even the last minute, there's going to be a lot more activity, a lot more volatility that other people may be able to trade. I'm just trading in a way that I feel I can understand and get good at and consistent at. But yeah, at least let me just have a look at my spreadsheet. The last few days, yesterday again, what I chalked up on the video was a loss. There was a loss of, when did I stop? So it's about £1.70 something, wasn't it? 172. So I made a loss of 172 and I stopped trading then at about 245. Came back again at 330 and continued to trade until the last position I took was at 615. It wasn't every trade, every selection that I was in, every race that I was in, but yeah, so overall it's about 23 races that I traded in to basically break even. So I did make that 170 something back, £1.72 back, but it was a much longer day, and that's not typically what I want, as part of my trading day. At least for now, I'm still figuring stuff out. That can be a pretty long day for I'm not thinking of the returns at the moment, but it's time invested. So finishing on 23 days on finishing with 23 races in total, when typically I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 between the 3 hours, or 2 or 3 hours between 1 and 3. Yeah, it's just thinking, right, what's my return on time, and what's the potential return on investment? But yeah, I've got no qualms about amping up and working harder once I've got proven consistency. But yeah, I just want to avoid those longer days for now. Let's see though. Just yammering away there. See what's going on in the market. So we've got 11 minutes to see off. Favourite of twos come in, consolidated for quite a period of time, finding support, albeit with looks like a slight drift in terms of the lows, getting slightly higher, maybe a tick or two higher with each increment. Second favourite drifted, come in, bit of consolidation, but it looks like it's broken lower than that, potentially moving with lower lows. Third favourite here, priced at might even have very similar sixes as this one, consolidated for a long period of time. After drifting, it's consolidated for a while. I mean, these had a bit of These had a bit of correlation for a while. You can see up until the way it drifted and then consolidated. This drifted and then consolidated. But here they've started to diverge, whereas this has broken lower. This has continued to consolidate. So I'm just thinking how to play this. So what I'm doing here is considering getting a decent fill on this at 6s as resistance to this potentially moving lower, and this support maintaining and potentially moving up to help push this lower. Bit speculative, but there's context to it. How long? 9 minutes to the off. Just going to try and increase the position here and get some skin in the game. And of course, should the market move higher, then at least I've got the 6 as a reference point. There's a good chance still that that previous resistance that we're seeing there will, turn into support, and the price will at least come back to allow me to get out a break even or a smaller profit. But yeah, sinking quite a few steps ahead, really, in terms of what could happen. That may or may not happen, but it's always good just to preempt what the market could do, so that you are primed for what you're looking for, so when it does happen you can act on it. Seeing some movement up here which should help this move lower, but obviously I haven't got matched as of yet. It's being a bit sticky in terms of getting matched. Still 8 minutes to the off. Could go in at market here, sell at 5.8, but that will put me in a worse position. So I've got filled on that. Potentially going to get filled in the second one. Put a closing order down there. What's it doing? So I want to see movement on this upwards, but ideally this is where the double bind comes in, because I want this to get matched at a decent price, but I also want this to start moving up. But yeah, it's it's a weird one. Just seeing that edge up, so I'm just increase that position. Be happy with an overall position of 6 if that gets matched, but ideally now I want to see it start moving down. Okay, so got my overall position matched. Just have to be wary of this. So this needs to hold as resistance and bounce off of it to come lower. Breaking 6s would not be good for my position. And obviously just moving up and breaking this resistance will help me. So just a bit of a waiting game at the moment. Willing to hold tight. Mm, 6 minutes to the off. Continue to consolidate, albeit with a very like a bias to producing lower highs. It's just that each kind of phase of the new lower high being created is very rangy, very sideways. So it kind of moves down, goes sideways for a while, creates a new lower low, goes sideways for a while, and hopefully will do another impulse move down. But that's what I would like to see, but who knows if that's going to happen. This is drifting as well. Got this 6 still holding as resistance, but it is testing it. 5 minutes to the off. It's coming in as money there as well. That's not going to help this position. Well, that has evaporated. There's pressure now coming from the other side of the book. Oh, that big move, that could help this. See that big jump on that side? It's probably brought something in, if not my selection, something else. Or everything on aggregate. I think it was this one. That big jump has caused this to steam. Or vice versa, this coming in has caused that to drift, but there you go. Still happy to maintain this position. This order here is a bit optimistic. Oh, I got filled on that. Okay. How long? 3 minutes. Oh shit. All right. Just gonna start thinking of thinning out position now. £4 to be matched. Can't be too greedy. Just looking at what the market's done previously in terms of breaking these. So over all that time we've held it, it hasn't persisted to make lower lows as anticipating or desired, but it has found support consistently around these levels, which is why I've moved my take profits up to those kinds of levels now. 2.5 minutes to the off. Just have to be careful not to let this green evaporate. Some chunks of money coming in there could help push this lower. Just going to move this up. This is just zigzagging all about, so yeah, could have been too greedy there and see a profit turn into a loss, but maintaining at least for now. Got another minute 45 till the off. Lots of money coming in on that side, and this is broken highs as well. So yeah, it's no good just focusing on what could have been in terms of, oh, I had that profit and the market owes me that. Nope. Market does whatever the fuck it wants, and you've got to act accordingly. So I feel there's still scope for at least to pull back and find a retrace, but I have to be willing to take an exit at break even or small loss, but hopefully this will get filled. There we go. Profit could have been bigger, but more importantly the loss there could have been a loss, and that's it. It's really just that's one of the first rules: don't lose money. Don't lose money. Break even, take smaller profits, but if you don't lose money, then you're trading well, in my opinion. So what we got next? 225. 60 grand matched. 9 minutes to the off. 101.1 on the book. Good trading conditions. So fives, very similar map patched. First and second favourites. This one has consolidated, although on a slight drift, coming into resistance. This one has come in. pulled back after hitting these lows here. So is that tradable? Let's have a goosey gander. What's going on? This one's come in pretty hard. Didn't realise that. It's coming hard and it's found support at 6s, which is our psych level or crossover point. So let me just have a little think about this. So I've put in some orders on this because I determined this to be the clearest like trend, if you like. And I've put it at these levels because one, there's been volume match there already, and if you look here, it's around about these previous lows. So that support has a tendency to turn into resistance, so it could move back up into it as it's doing now. Maybe I've got the number. That's why these charts would be so much better if you could actually read the fucking numbers off of them. But I'm anticipating this will be resistance before potentially moving lower, at least to 6s, where it will find support, or potentially beyond 6s to kind of steam harder. But we'll see if we'll get matched on this. And obviously this drifting is helpful, although there we go, it's finally updated. So it's broken that previous support, previous resistance, and moved higher. I have got some skin in the game on this one now, so I'm gonna, where do I want this closing order? I'm gonna put it there. So I'm not really saying that there's going to be a breakout here. What I am saying is it's at least going to find support, and it could break out. But I'm taking my money off the table before any of those. I've left these orders in here because there's an okay position, and it could just find resistance off of it again. At the touch at the moment, near the back of the queue, but see if it gets matched. This drifting should help this. Five minutes 45 seconds to the off. So you can see I'm just constantly looking around at the different instruments to see what's going on, just so I'm, aware, have a situational awareness to what's happening. So, is this continuing to drift? How much time have I got left? Is there money still persisting? Like, there are a few things definitely to instruments that I'm constantly looking at, but yeah, overall, just about just keeping eyes on the prize really, and not letting concentration drift too much. This is being a bit sticky at this level. I may need to move this up to just take the tick rather than being greedy for 2. There are persistent drifters I'm seeing out the corner of my eye. Oh, that's another one that's been taken. All right. 4 minutes. Do I really want to leave that one in? So we've got a net position of 6 now. So I'm hoping that this 7, because there's been quite strong support, it's gone into that now as resistance. I'm hoping that will hold up. I've got my break even just below 7s. So I need to see this basically hold up as resistance and the price fall down. This isn't helping. This is coming through, but it is approaching this 6s. So if it breaks 6s, which it could do, that will aid this. So I'm, based on that, I'm, you know, holding fire, but no, it has broken higher. So this could go adversely against me. 2 minutes 50. Given the odds as well, it's quite a heavy position. So each tick is more profit or loss, because I'm using £2 stakes at 7s. But I am holding fire. Drift is becoming more apparent. Only 2 minutes to go. So I'm going to move the bottom. And the reason I'm moving this bottom one up rather than, you know, entering a new one or whatever is because I could just move. I could have moved the second one up, but I would lose position on that. Just pay attention to this. Oh, I don't want this to get too. You can see there, it's just breaking new highs. So it's a bit of a sticky situation here. Seeing that profit evaporate. So I'm just thinking how to time my exit now based on what else is going on in the market, if there could be potential pullback. But it it looks like this is going to be a loss. Can't let this get too bad. So net stake of 2 now. So I am definitely carrying a loss on this. Yeah, cut my losses. Yeah, that's a big loss that comes in, and that wipes out. You see, just in a matter of seconds. It's a good example of the reality of this. Within a couple of seconds, within one market, all the work from, why is that not even across the book? That's odd. Oh shit, still got a net stake in there. Okay, no, come on, mate. See, I've still got a net position. Wait, I'm not sure what's gone on there, but oh, okay, it's just green up. So you can see I had like 130 on that. I could have just left that actually, but something gone on there I just wasn't paying attention to, and I'm not sure entirely what happened. But Spider Bite made a loss on it. Could have cut the losses earlier. It's a loss. It's 260. I mean, that's just way above. I was up about 80p on the day, so all in all, no, 91p prior to this. So this brings my loss on the day to about £1, 170. So Yeah, that's a good example of the reality of this. Just either a momentary lapse of concentration or hesitation can lead to losses. But the important thing is when that happens is not to get angry at the market, not to, trade at bigger amounts or try and, make it back by just gambling and doubling up or whatever. Just staying consistent like that. So this was, it's not the same as that happened here. So yesterday it was more, I had, consecutive losses in a row, and then I took a, 45-minute break and then came back a bit later. This time round, I do have some other work to do, but I'm happy to say, that's a day, that's, chalk that up as a loss, potentially come back to the markets a bit later. But yeah, that's the way she goes. Some you win, some you lose. But yeah, just if you do make losses, if you find any joy in seeing me lose, great. But at the same time, this is mainly for me to learn from. If you learn anything from that, it's just the reality of how hard work can be gone in an instant, and just to stay consistency. But it is, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big problem, because it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But yeah, I'll update you on tomorrow. I'll call it a day for today, but I'll update tomorrow on kind of what I decided, where I trade again later this evening. Yeah, be back again tomorrow, around about the same time, midday UK time. But yeah, see you then. Bye.